1, 2. I thought I heard a clap. All right, ready?
My bad.
So we'll do 1, 2, 3 clap. Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. All right. The clap has been had. What's going on over there? Open.
I don't know. I was just about to ask you what the fuck you do. I mean, you know what I'm doing. I'm just shaking shit up.
Yeah. Is this considered lunch break for you with the UPS?
Yeah. Well, I told the boys in the package room they were gonna have to cover me for a good 45 here because I said, boys, it's been too long. And we needed to get one down. I mean, the people have been asking for it. Shout out to my man, CG. I don't like doing full names. I like doing...
I like doing
acronyms initials.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah, or acronyms are even better. Yeah.
If we could get a third
LDG.
One. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you 2. I'll give you LD right in the middle of that, and you can... the folks at home can
exactly
guess what that means.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does he have one?
But yeah, man. Unconfirmed. Unconfirmed by me.
You haven't laid eyes?
I will say, now this is going in the Wayback Machine. Another one of our homies, AY, allegedly may have laid eyes on it at some point or another. I don't know for sure, but I'm the type of person who, if I hear that, I take it at face value. I don't feel the need necessarily to confirm it. Unless, and let me know what you think about this, but unless it just doesn't fit the archetype of the person that might belong to, because we all know folks like that who it's just like there's just no way.
Yeah,
your attitude, the way you conduct yourself, there's a 0.0% chance. That you're swinging anything.
Yeah, you got like the like that account that you sent me that I became obsessed with. Like you got the guy in the office. It's like, I'm on the quest to find the best bagel in town, and you're like, that guy actually has a hog.
You know what that
like,
guy's
no,
bringing.
he doesn't.
Yeah, no fucking way. Because nobody who would go on that sort of quest has. Nobody with a big old piece would ever spend their time trying to find the best bagel around.
Yeah, I would imagine it.
And I'm telling on myself a little bit here. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, I would imagine having... I'm telling on myself, too, because I'm saying I would imagine. But,
right.
Having having a long dong or an LD would really...
We'll bleep that out.
Yeah, your motivation would kind of, squander. You'd be like, man, I could do all this. I could be running around all day, or I could just, hang out with my LD.
To me, it seems, again, to me, it seems like it would be a tremendous distraction. I don't know how I'd get anything done.
Yeah, no, it would, like even if you didn't have a person to use it on, like you could find one very easily, and also just getting it up and looking at it is pretty cool. Yeah, I would imagine.
Right. No, totally. No, I'm with you on that for sure. And the other thing too, like. Obviously you can't just head down to a Subway and show somebody. I mean, you maybe in parts of this country you could, but generally speaking, it's frowned upon to go to any kind of establishment and pull it out. But we have friend groups where it's not necessarily a taboo thing to show somebody some shaft, glands, that sort of thing, and it would be hard to keep that thing holstered in that scenario.
Well, I think with the Subway, you just used the wrong anecdote there, because a Subway, like they were known for like the fucking foot long. You still can order a foot long. It's just not $5 anymore.
Right.
Thanks.
Was it ever though?
No, it's probably one of those things where it's $5 if you're just getting meat, no cheese. You're just getting meat and lettuce.
Yeah. It was brilliant marketing.
But anyway, I mean, just with the amount of Subways in this area, and today I came across today I relapsed on nicotine because it got me. I mean, okay. I lasted a week, and today I woke up and I was just, I mean, we'll get into that later. But so anyway, I had to relapse, and I came across a Pilot gas station chain. I don't know if that's
okay. Yeah,
no,
I'm familiar.
So it was a Pilot. However, there was a McDonald's and a Subway in there. So with all that being said, when you're a chain that is in gas stations a lot, I'm pretty sure at least 2 or 3 times a day, a schizophrenic fella comes in and is just like, "Hey, look at this foot long, motherfucker."
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And the shitty part is, back in the day, you could do that. You could get away with pulling out your hog and saying, "Hey, look at this, look at this foot long," and you might get a couple of laughs and like get out of here, Roger, that sort of thing. But now, cops are involved. The franchise owner is probably going to get involved. You know what's crazy about Subway? I think I've definitely talked about this. At one point, they had the most retail locations of any fast food restaurant, and that's what they are. Subway is fast food, and it's barely considered food. But they had the most retail locations of any fast food company in the world.
Yeah, I've came across and you would think for that, like, I think a lot of it is just like Indian bros owning franchises, but every now and then you get like an owner operator. And number one, there's an Instagram where there's this one young African American fella that I guess is like an owner operator, young guy that has a Subway, and he kind of goes down his like cost breakdown and everything. And
I think I've seen this, actually.
It's still not worth it. Like, I would say he's not even pulling in like $100K, but just to be working and like owner operator of a Subway franchise all the time. It's like 70-hour weeks, and you're managing the population that you're managing. Best case scenario is a group of teenagers who don't care about anything. Worst case scenario, you had to hire the guy who's been pulling his cock out there for the last 3 months because you just need somebody baking cookies or whatever it is. Yeah, and you got to manage that guy, and he's probably bringing his friends with him. It's 100% not worth it. I did have a hookup at a Subway when I was in high school when I had the Xterra. So I would roll through this one actually had a drive-through at Xterra. Young lady we went to high school with. Nothing lewd was involved, but
really?
Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, this was just pure clean fun. This was okay. But actually now I think about it.
Yeah, hold on. Here we go. Yeah.
Anyway, but nothing, it was still good clean fun. And
was it at least in good taste?
Say that. Yeah, no, it's always in good taste. It's always in good taste. I mean, for me, it was always good taste for me.
True. Yeah, good point.
However, I've learned, trying a couple of follows on Instagram that apparently it's not in good taste for some people. But
I thought folks were kind of liberal with allowing follows based, from people in the past. Yeah, you found out that was not the case.
From me. But
right,
it's whatever. I'm just checking up just to make sure. Like, I just want to make sure I didn't like ruin any lives. But
I feel like enough time has passed where that's reasonable.
Yeah,
but maybe not. But anyways, you had a hookup at a Subway.
Anyway, had the hookup at the Subway. This girl would give me the unlabeled box of cookie dough because you could say all you want about their sandwiches. But a Subway cookie would still hit, and she would just hand me a pail of their cookie dough out the drive-thru window. Damn. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Damn, that's awesome. Damn.
Yeah, and
I didn't even know they got down. Like, I didn't know Subway had a drive-thru. I guess it makes sense.
Yeah, then my week would just be buffalo chicken dip and Subway cookie dough,
right? And
I was good to go.
Yeah, that's meal prep. Yeah. Working a couple of Andy Capp's hot fries too, and that's damn. Yeah, that's kind of bad. That's pretty badass. The closest thing I ever had to that was I had a brief connection on some at Taco Bell on those fucking like churro bites things. You remember what I'm talking about? They were like crisp.
Yeah, you had someone on the inside at Taco Bell.
I had a woman on the inside. Yeah, I'm not bragging. Obviously, I'm not going to name names. But
you kept that close to the chest because
I did, dude. I didn't.
In high school, we were all about each other and some Taco Bell.
Keep in mind, this isn't something I was proud of at the time.
Yeah.
And she was, a very sweet girl. I got nothing bad to say about her, but it was it was some dark moments in my life where I'd be hitting the drive-thru at 1 a.m. solo, obviously, and she'd be like, "Oh, shit, what up?"
Yeah, you're sending the "you up" text, but it's really like, "Hey, I'm about to come through the fucking
Are you
drive-thru.
on shift?
You working?
Yeah, you there? Or is it busy? I'm gonna need a 36-ounce Baja Blast, and I'm gonna hit a fill up on that. Yeah, so I did have a brief connection over there, which was kind of tight, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, but
now,
I don't know which one would be better back
with
then.
the churro, or would you get a
it was
a beefy 5-layer?
It was pretty clear. Nah, it was pretty clear that our friendship, if you want to call it that, ended at the bag of whatever those little fucking churro bites were. Yeah, she kind of made that clear from the jump, because I remember too being like, so what's up with those what are they called, the Doritos? Those were kind of new at the time, the Doritos Locos Taco. And I was like, oh, so what's going on with those? Like, are those those new things? Like, are they good? And this is so funny too, like thinking about like two 16-year-old kids trying to like navigate this social interaction while also dealing with Taco Bell.
Yeah,
but like
through
asking about
the
like
bell.
through the bell.
You're trying to spit game, but like through the bell.
And never once did it occur to me like, oh, like you should go through the drive. Like she probably wants to talk to you, so you should go through the drive-thru and then like invite her to come sit in the car.
Yeah,
I was like, I would secure the bag and then secure the bag,
be like,
peel
hey,
out of there.
I'll see you.
Yeah,
see you next time.
Yeah, in the Ridgeline. Yeah, dude. And so like I probably could have played that a little better.
Dude, you navigate like in your heart. You knew you could have done more, but like you navigate that. You go home with the churros. Go home and just beat off. When you're like, if you could have just put a little more effort into it, like someone else could. Yeah, dude, that could have been.
It could have been a targeted. Oh, bro, it could have been a fucking HJ and a Honda.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, who doesn't dream about that? I still do, man. I still dream about that. But realistically, what happened would be like, I'd go home, I'd have 50 ounces of Baja Blast on board, and 3 a.m. rolls around. I'm like, why the fuck can't I go to bed? Right? Because I just put diesel fuel in my body. No, dude, are you kidding me? Like try to tell a 17-year-old kid it's 2 a.m. on a Saturday. You just had literally a liter of Baja Blast. Don't beat off before you go to bed. Like that ain't
no.
You can put handcuffs on. Somebody's going to figure out a way to fucking get one out. I don't mean to be crude, but yeah, that you're spot on with that.
Yeah, I don't think I've taken more than 72 hours off since I've been able to ejac.
Yeah,
I know you had you were serving,
right?
Like you kind of had to.
And they discourage it. Ironically, they discourage singular release, but there was really no policing of like buddy team live fire exercises in the latrines, as they call them. After the duty day was over, you'd get done with your you'd done with your training for the day, and you'd be released to the barracks at fucking 5, 6, 7 p.m. whatever it might be, and then it was kind of like just open season, and so you'd have a couple of lads who you could very plainly and easily see would be teaming up for a shower mission, and they'd get in there and take care of whatever. And there was really there was no, maybe it was just my class, I don't know necessarily how it works and how it's worked in the past, but they were pretty clear and open about it, not exactly like a clandestine operation. And
I don't know why anybody, especially a male, tries to hide it. It's just like, hey, man, like...
I think it's impossible to hide.
Yeah, especially like if you're the type of guy that's like, I don't jerk off. Like, to me, then now you're weird.
Oof. Yeah, no, that's a certified... I mean, this term's been bastardized, but that's a certifiable red flag. Yeah. I would rather you say I'm a chronic masturbator and just be honest.
Yeah.
And come around me with some, I don't jerk off.
Yeah, and I'm not judging you because I probably am wearing some boxers with the stain in them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. As you're telling me this.
Yeah.
But some people just I don't know. Some people were raised little too religious. We're not anti-religion on this podcast,
No.
but it's like
No.
if you're trying to tell me I have the body that I have and the urges that I have, and I'm not supposed to let that go. Like what?
Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like any religion that's like don't beat off. Like I first of all, I'm a little dubious of anything like that. However, I will say I have to caveat this. There's some lads out there and some ladies too, but definitely some lads, I would say maybe more so the lads who for real cannot control themselves. And I understand where that kind of like, you know, the tutelage comes from in that sense, because you know at a certain point it becomes a productivity issue, right? Like if you, for example, if you got a family farm, right, you got let's say you got 8 kids, like the good Lord intended, you know, you got 6 boys, you're counting on those boys to produce and to be effective workers and you know, to get the job done and keep the doors open, really. Yeah. I mean, you know, ironically, and if you lose 1 or 2 of your workforce to chronic beating, you know, you're jeopardizing the whole family's livelihood at that point. So I do get the origins of it, you know, but I don't like you know, it seems fascistic to try to control a man's beat.
Correct. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's just something that's like it's never gonna go away. I'm sure. I'm sure. Just with what's in our food, dropping testosterone rates, maybe we'll get to a point where nobody has to, but we're not even close to that. Yeah,
that's a scary.
I'm actually looking forward to like the first time that I like catch my son catching one. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's 4 now, so he still has, you know, a year or 2 before that starts. But it's
if he's like his daddy, that's right.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's just gonna be like a hey, just know like it's good, but there are rules around this. Like you can't just do it willy nilly. Like you gotta hide it like I did.
Right. You have to at least make an effort to be covert about it, because if not, then you know we start getting into the are you a sexual deviant, are you a pervert, like did you want to be caught? And you know it's a little concerning, and I think I would be if I had kids, I would be relieved to find out that my boy was you know, quote unquote sexually normal. In that sense. And what I mean sexually normal, I'm not talking about gender or not gender, sexual. Like I don't care if he's gay. All right, if you're gay, that's okay.
Yeah.
What I'd be worried about is walking in on somebody. He's got a fucking belt around his neck, or he's jerking off. You know, he's in the happy baby position and he's leaning back and he's trying to jerk off on his own face. That's the kind of shit that I'd be deeply troubled by.
Yeah,
but if the kid's just,
I catch him in one of those leftover diapers, and you're like, bro, what the fuck? Like, but that actually reminds me of a story. So I don't know how it went with you, but like, you remember when what did they call the sexual education in school? It was like a
health class.
It was health class. No, it was a Phlebas.
Phlebas.
Or something.
Yeah.
Phlebas. So they start you with that in the 5th grade, and I just remember in the 5th grade when like you knew it was coming because you had heard the legends of like, hey, this is what, and I mean, shout out to our teachers, because that's got to be,
oof. Oh my God.
Just knowing like, God damn it, we got to start Phlebas next week. I got to start talking to these fucking 5th graders about sex.
I hope they're getting hazard pay. Like they should be getting a differential for any teacher that's teaching some sort of Phlebas course.
Yeah, and I just remember like hearing my teacher, shout out Miss Waltrip, related to the NASCAR driver.
I was about to say, hold on.
Shout out Mike Waltrip. Yeah, she was like.
What about Daryl?
Yeah, no, I think Daryl's in that family too. Yeah, shout out to the Waltrips, which
that's
that's
a fast.
We can come
family.
back to that, but there's an interesting circularity to that because it came back around to. I knew one of the Waltrips pretty well, but there was
this is I was about to say anytime you say that, that means you fucking fingered somebody. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
every single goddamn time.
I won't out.
No.
But I'll actually I'll bleep that one out. But there's I
gotta say, if you got before we get into flea biz, if you have a NASCAR driving uncle, dad, cousin, grandfather, whoever it might be, you need to understand that you are just your last name alone is going to attract a certain kind of person. You need to have your guard up at all times.
Yeah,
because let's just be honest about it.
See, this is what happens. I feel like when I re-listen to the podcast, I wonder if it frustrates the listener as much as it frustrates me. Where I have one story with the end in mind. And then I branch off into 3 different branches before I get.
And I'm interrupting. Yep.
Yeah, but that's how a podcast goes. If you don't like it, start your own.
It is.
God damn it.
Right. Yeah. Fuck.
But anyway, I just remember like losing my shit, like not being able to keep it together when I would hear Miss Waltrip say penis or vagina. Because when you're in the 5th grade, that's just insane to be able to try to keep it together. You make eye contact with your other friend across the room, and
he's making a monkey face.
You're just like, dude, she just talked about the penis ejaculating. Right. And but anyway, the story that I don't know if I've ever told anyone this, and if my dad's listening, then I'm sure actually he probably knew because he was just kind of like whatever. But so. Have you ever had a nocturnal emission? Because they talked about those a lot in Phlebas, as if it was going to happen. Have you ever had one where you woke up and you're just like, oh, shit?
No, I'm actually really glad that you asked. And I think we might have touched on this offline some time ago. But, hold on. The fuck? It keeps asking me to use my iPhone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know what the fuck's going on. But anyway, you make a really good point because they talked about that shit a lot. Like it was going to happen all the fucking time. So I was prepared. I was like, I'm going to be busting fucking nuts all over myself in my race car bed and shit's going to suck. I'm going to wake up in the morning and just be covered, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever have. And I think it's because due to the regularity in which I masturbate, I don't think my body has a need for it to do a nocturnal emish.
That's exactly what I've chalked it up to because I don't know about you, but I was beating it before I could ejaculate. Like I would just get like a tingly feeling.
Right. I think I remember doing that maybe once or twice and thinking like something was wrong. I'm like, all right, I better chill out. But yeah, I don't remember. Fuck. Yeah, it wasn't super common. I know that.
Yeah. So basically, like I never had a nocturnal emission, and I guess my 5th grade self was like I was self-conscious about it. So one day, I remember. So I would go to bed. My dad and mom, I think. Definitely divorced for years at the time, but living in the same home, like where my mom lived in the master downstairs, and my dad. There were 2 bedrooms upstairs. One was mine, one was my dad's, and I remember. See, I would take this pillow and I would just kind of rub myself until it happened. And one night I was like, I'm gonna impress Dad, and so I squirted. I put. I put Neosporin on the on my sheets where like about waist high, and went and like woke up, got my dad at 10 o'clock at night, and I know my dad's like, oh God, like now having kids, I know he was like, oh fuck, I can hear my son up, and I went to I was like, hey Dad, I think it happened. And I like called him, and he was like, what? And I like called him over, and I was like, look. And I was like, I think I had a nocturnal emission. And he was just like, cool, man. Like, good, nice.
Yeah. That was
good job. Like, do you need me to change the sheets or whatever? And I was like, nah, it's all right. And little did I know, because I'm sure it was soon after that where I was actually, natural ejac. I was like, dude,
Sure.
Neosporin looks nothing like
nothing like a jerk at
nothing
all.
like
Yeah.
an ejaculation.
That's kind of a waste of Neosporin too.
I want to, you know what? Next time I talk to my dad, or next time I see him in person, I'm gonna ask him, like, do you remember that? Because there's a 50-50 chance he even remembers that. But if he does,
Right.
I want to know, like, what's going through his head of, like,
what was
my son just
what was your thought on
faked
that?
a nocturnal emission?
Right. For my
I don't
to
fucking
come like
wow,
nice,
show
man.
it off to me.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but
The things that we do to get validation from our parents, especially as young ones, is pretty awesome.
yeah, it's so sad. That's why, like,
That's fucking sick.
I validate my kids whenever I can, and if I notice that I'm
Right.
like not validating them and they're looking for it,
Yeah,
I'm
you got to
like,
throw them one.
I gotta throw them one, because it's,
intermittent reinforcement, though, it makes it makes it stronger. So
it's the
we
speed
all know
bump, it's the speed bump theory
Yeah.
that we've
It
talked
is.
about. It goes hand in hand.
no, we all know what happens when what happens to those kids who get the constant positive reinforcement. It becomes equally, maybe even a greater problem than those who get none at all. So yeah, no, for sure. And what's funny about that is your old man, I'm not trying to speak ill of anybody, but your old man probably that night had just got done whacking off, being around, close to that age. Like now it's like, yeah, bro was for sure beating off in there.
Yeah, but yeah,
gotta be a
I'm
weird
gonna ask him
juxtaposition.
about that. But the whole the circularity to it is, shout out 5th grade Miss Waltrip. I think she was like a sister or a cousin of them. Mm-hmm. Later in life, when I started with FedEx, wound up meeting a Waltrip on a call, hitting it off, and then I worked at the I worked for NASCAR for a little bit.
I did know that.
Doing
Yeah.
EMT.
NASCAR and Siemens.
Yeah. NASCAR. Yep. God damn it. Is my whole life about just cum? It's crazy. I'm sitting in a house. I'm looking.
But the thing is, man, everyone's life really just comes down to that at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't think it's unique or weird or anything like that. I think it's just a willingness to be open about it is what where that comes from.
Yeah, but shout out Mike Waltrip. He was I mean, if you like, he's a good guy. I've briefly met him a couple times in his own home, and out on the track, and he didn't remember me from either one, but I like, if you just listen to an interview with Mike Waltrip, I feel like he's a closeted gay guy. But he's holding it together, because he has a nice family, nice life.
Yep.
He's a very nice guy. He has that he has the certain, like, lisp and
I know exactly what you're referring to.
And he's he's like that in real life. That's not a character. That's him. He's a
that's who he is. Yeah. I got a theory about this. I really do. I'll let you know, or I'll let you, kind of share what you think about it. But my theory is, and this might exist out there, I haven't researched it. It's more of a working theory. I've noticed that men over a certain age, and I used to think it might have been exclusive to just Southern men based on my exposure, geographic exposure, but I've found it to be true on a small scale in New England here as well. Men over a certain age basically become gay, to an extent, and it's how it's combined with, and it's usually it's married men who have been with women for a while. It's not usually the single guys. They kind of go in a different direction. They basically become like guitarists that never really did it. But anyway, so these guys that have been in relationships for a long time, they might have a couple of kids. They become feminine in a lot of ways, and you can even hear it in their voice a lot. I'm talking maybe
correct,
maybe over the age of, I'd say, 50, 55. I think that the T starts declining. They get they get used to a certain lifestyle, very comfortable lifestyle, generally speaking. You know, they start wearing shoes without socks. You know, and you can kind of hear it in their voice, and where you can also see it. I know you've had an experience with this. Is how they react to any kind of stressor or exposure, you know, to a situation that's kind of uncomfortable. They become very panicked and you know, not in a derogatory way, but a little gay. You know, if we can just kind of be open about it. And it seems to be a recurring theme with lads that age. I don't know. I don't know. I got to research it a bit and figure out where that's kind of coming from, but it's something I've noticed.
Yeah, no, I wholly agree with that. There's a
lot of like sweaters.
I think it literally can just be boiled down to the drop in tea. Which
sorry. Yeah, that could be a part of it.
I'm gonna I know the second that I really feel it. I'm not gonna be one of these guys like some of our friends that kind of jumps the gun. But I do not look down upon it at all. Like once you're over the age of 40, and it's like, man, I got to be able to get out of bed in the morning.
Right.
Like I'm gonna supplement.
Yeah.
I'm just not. I know that it's one of those things like nicotine, like we talked about. Once you're on it, you're kind of on it. There's no
for sure. Yeah, no, for sure. The nicotine balls start going away, and yeah, my only concern with that, like obviously, I don't want to feel like shit. Like when the tea starts going down, I don't want to feel like shit. I don't want to have no energy. I don't want to be like, you know, cranky, like, you know, wearing boat shoes, that kind of guy. Like, you know, just chubby, kind of ill-defined.
Yeah, and then you start. But you start overcompensating. Like the other day, I was in a
big Jeep.
I was in a Jeep. A Jeep is a pure indicator. If you're a grown man with like a Jeep with a bunch of fucking ducks on your dashboard, like
you are hypogonadal.
Yes. Yeah. I was in a fucking another gas station a while back, and I heard a man who probably, I didn't see what he arrived in, but I'm just gonna say he probably arrived in a Jeep or a Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
And his ringtone starts going off, and it's Bad to the Bone. He has Bad to the Bone just blaring from his belt clip.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, and he like can't. You would think like if I had a belt clip phone, I would be able to like really quickly draw it. You know, like like I would. You'd be so well versed in drawing it, but this man couldn't get it unclipped or silenced or anything, and it was just
bothering with it. Yeah. Yeah, dude probably pulled out the phone, answered it, and said, "Oh, hey Tony, yeah, we're just on our way down to the lake house."
Yeah, we're on our way.
And that dude is
You need us to pick anything up? You got enough ice in the cooler?
Yeah, we were gonna get some Tostitos on the way. Yeah, that man, the guy who owns that voice and that cell phone has been married to a woman for 45 years, 3 kids. Yeah. Partially retired. That is a conventionally quote unquote straight man who has now become that.
Yeah. Do you have anything? Because I started this having to pee, and I'm to the point where I'm gonna piss myself. I will piss myself for the podcast, but I do have to walk away
get
from
rid of
the
that,
mic.
dude.
So just
go get rid of that.
Okay.
We can't have all that.
Right back.
Damn. No, you're good, bro. Damn, I feel bad now.
No, it's my fault for starting it having to pee.
Nah, it's all good, bro. Are you pissing in the basement? Are you above ground? I can hear the stream. It's not bad. Yeah. Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah, Dad, bro, I feel bad that you've been holding piss this whole time.
No, I had stuff to say.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay. All right. No, you're right. Shit did get hot there for a second. We were cooking. Yeah. You know what you should do is maybe the headset, like a truck driver. Like get one of those things. You know, I'm talking about Bluetooth headset. Yeah. Yeah. you got like an integration going. That thing would be awesome. Those guys are always on those things too.
All right. Yeah, all right, I'm back to the mic. Yeah,
right.
you were
good.
We were talking about, I think I'm going to get a truck driver headset. So, because I have no tolerance for having to pee. Like once it's
right.
Like if I'm not thinking about it and I have to pee, it's all good. I can hold it forever. But if I have to pee and I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, God damn it, I gotta go.
Yeah, for sure.
I gotta go piss.
It throws you off your game. You can't have that. It is annoying to have to urinate and not like be. Do you remember in school, like not to be this guy, but you remember in school, like you had to ask to go to the bathroom,
yeah.
or you had 90 seconds between class to run across the fucking building and go piss. Like,
yeah, that was insane.
That was some old bullshit.
That is straight up torture. Because what if I have to shit?
Yeah, no, that's fucking... Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Like,
yeah. How many times
from the fucking 900 building over to like...
Oh my God, bro.
Somewhere by the cafeteria where...
That policy, dude.
And they're like,
that must have been
you need
responsible.
to be able to shit and get to your class. And if you're late...
And wipe.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
dude,
wipe.
That rule must have been responsible for so many fucking skid marks. It's not even funny. And God help, you know damn well, if you were somehow magically able to shit and wipe in that allotted time, 0.0 chance that you were hitting a hand wash.
Not even
a shot.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and the stuff that you would...
It's fucking
and
draconian.
It's not even that. It's also what... Like, the gauntlet that you could encounter in the bathroom is...
Bro.
Like, there's like... You go in there, you don't know what it is. It could be like that new Russian kid that's just weird, and then they're all like talking and they're smoking weed.
There could be
God damn it! Am I gonna get in trouble because I'm shitting next to this? They're gonna think I'm smoking weed too.
Yeah.
So I gotta find
God
another
forbid,
bathroom.
You could have somebody shooting the ones in there, right? Throwing hands that you don't want to get involved in. Or I ran into this a couple of times. There would be folks either freestyling or having a dance off, like having a one-on-one dance off.
Dance off was good. We've talked about too. When we were in high school, the jerk was a big.
The jerk was huge.
The jerk was huge. So
dudes were jerking day and night.
And there's just Mar.
Oh my God,
getting it in, hitting the jerk.
Jesus Christ!
And you're like, fuck.
And
I just gotta shit. And you know, if anybody you know sees you going into the stall, it's like
forget it.
It's like,
dude.
Oh shit, what up, Max? Max is you got a shit, bro?
Oh, you taking a shit? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
In hindsight, now you can be, you know, obviously you can just be like, yeah, I'm gonna go take a shit right now.
I'm gonna take
a
shit.
Back then,
and if you mess with me, I'm gonna come out of this stall with a fucking gun. How about that?
Yeah, right. Yeah, but for whatever reason back then it was like, oh damn, like I'm not taking a shit. I'm just peeing. And then you go in the stall, you wouldn't pee or shit, and then you just fucking deal with it for the next 2 hours. Yeah.
I'll but I'm still kind of guilty to this day of like when at our FedEx headquarters we have a locker room for the boys, and
of course
every now and then I'll walk in to pee and catch somebody shitting, and I'll just hear there's just a silence because they're probably on their phone, but then they can tell somebody's in there, and I'll just hit doing good in there, boss. Doing
it's like whoa.
Or I'll comment on what it smells like, and I'll be like, hey man, what'd you eat yesterday? Is that
smells
bulgogi?
like bologna. Yeah.
Did you have Korean barbecue?
Oh shit. Yeah, a little beam bop.
Yeah, you have a beam bop. Shout out DH. I'm looking for a good beam bop in the Greenville area.
Hit him up, bro. He might know. He might know of one. I'll put some feelers out there too. Also, I don't want to get sidetracked on this talking about shitting in bathrooms, but our boy DH, little known fact, not a lot of people know this. Also managed a Subway in high school. Was a key holder at a Subway, and I believe he got some.
I didn't know that.
I believe he got some associate. While he was there too, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I could be wrong on this.
You definitely did. If you were at a minimum wage job, you wanted, and if you had any kind of game,
dude,
just
dude
by
was closing
just
the
by
store.
Being there, just by the allure of it.
Yeah.
Being like, we're not.
It's a natural hierarchy.
Yeah, you got some. with somebody
there's
that
going
you
to be
worked
some
with
available
at a minimum wage
sure.
job.
For sure. No, 100%. So I didn't mean to get sidetracked on that. Just wanted to give him a quick shout out. I think we shout him out every pod.
Yeah.
But I couldn't help but think about that when we were going over the Subway thing. But back to the dumping at school. You ever try to give somebody a hard time? Like I remember a handful of times there was always, a dude. There was a dude that we probably both know. I won't name names, obviously. We don't do that here. But he was a frequent school dumper.
Can you give me basically? Can you give me an acronym or initials?
ED, I think was the acronym. You might not have crossed paths with him, but now knowing
I know one
what,
of our high school friends that suffers from that. But
yes, right. Unfortunately,
is that
but
okay.
No relation.
Okay.
No relation. And I'll get you with you after this to see if you actually know this young man. But anyway, dude was a pretty frequent dumper. Not frequent in the sense that it was multiple times a day, but you could expect him to be in there, right?
Yeah.
And I remember, one time, I was like, oh, I'm gonna mess with him a little bit. I'm gonna be like, hey, yo, what are you doing in there? You taking a shit? And so I ended up doing that. I was like, I gave him that, and he just goes like without breaking a stride, without even sounding the least bit concerned. He just goes, yep. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. All right, hell yeah. And that was the last time I ever said anything to him about it. But yeah, it was just so funny. He was just pants down, dumping. And I thought like, oh, sweet, like here we go. I'll get him a little bit, like I'll make him feel weird. And he just owned it, dude. He just owned it so hard. And in that moment, I was like, damn, this dude is more secure in himself than I am right now.
Oh yeah,
like he flipped the script on me big time.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you could have just had that secure, if you could have just been secure in high school, it would have been. It would have been like such a game changer that nobody could have.
Because nobody is.
Nobody could have rocked you. Yeah, nobody's secure in high school.
Nobody. Yeah. No, I remember. Goddamn, too. I remember like it can go a little too far the other way. Because I remember I was running with a pack of homies back then who were like obsessed with their penises. We were probably, I don't know, 12, 13. This would have been like 8th grade.
All right.
And 7th and 8th grade actually, and these guys were, obsessed with their penises like any gentleman is, but were so open about how much they loved to masturbate. There was probably 3 of them that were kind of serial jerkers, and I remember they were kind of, they held it in such a high regard, back then. And when I say it, I mean like your first nut. They were like, they remember the date, they remember what they were doing, and they were kind of in competition with each other about it. And I remember being like, "Damn, fellas, this is a little odd, to be honest." But now I'm thinking like, yeah, maybe they just knew who they were, and we're open about it.
Yeah, I remember. I feel like I would have had to have told this, but we do have some new listeners. But I had a.
We do.
This was actually 7th grade, so it's probably 5th or 6th where I did the Neosporin fake ejac, but soon after that, I started liquid started showing and
producing.
And I remember too, like that was honestly a little bit before some other people, and there was a boy named we'll just give his initials as JP.
Okay.
He's part of the Cloud9 crew, and I remember.
Hey, shout out to the Cloud9 crew.
Shout out to the Cloud9 crew, still going strong to this day with the touch.
Somehow,
football.
Everyone who everyone who doubted me, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Before maybe I shouldn't. I don't want any kind of smoke or bad blood with the C9 boys.
It's all in good faith. We're just joshing here, guys. All right.
Yeah, it's all love, boys. It's all love.
There's no need to. I don't even know what the term is, but no need to get mad at this. But
to respond.
So JP was so I think I was still, even though I was insecure about it in the 5th grade, I was still one of the first to start showing water on the fire, as they would say,
right.
before some of my peers, and I remember it being a
good
thing.
industry term there. Yep.
Yeah, and JP didn't believe me, and I was like, yeah, man, I do. And I was like, well, sorry that you don't. He was like, no, I do too. And I was like, no, you don't. And he got so mad. Yeah. It was like in front of people. I was like, no, you can't. You're still working it up. You're still dry coming. And I got him to the point where I was like, well, prove it by bringing a little bit to school.
Yep.
And the dude did. So
yeah.
So the dude did. I don't know if it was another Neosporin cocktail or what, but
could be. Yeah,
he
it
did
could
bring
be.
some to school, and I remember being like, "Oh shit, JP's got cum in his bag."
Dude fucking launched one and brought it in the JanSport.
Yeah, just to prove to me that he could. And I remember just turning it on him, being like, "What the fuck, man? You brought cum to school?"
And, it's like not even his cum.
Yeah, he got his brother's cum. He just
it's like, yeah. Jerry, could you fucking jerk off in here so I can bring it to school and show Max that I can come?
Yeah.
You got to think too. While he was jerking off, he for sure was thinking about that conversation. Like, was hitting an angry beat, knowing that he was going to show everybody that he could get it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him know tomorrow. And you know there was like, because you think about it, like I've never had to for medical purposes, but I guess there are some like medical.
Well, not officially. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there are some medical reasons why. Like I know some people that have had to go through IVF where you have to jerk off in a cup, and I would think like just the cup would have to have a wide mouth because that lasts like 3 seconds. Like if you're giving me a small thing to ejac into, like it's going to be a problem. So like the concentration, if it was his own ejac, and it was like a jar where you would keep like sun-dried tomatoes in. It was like a small little, like and his parents are probably pissed. His parents are probably trying to make dinner the next day, like where the fuck the tomatoes go?
Yeah, somebody fucking came all over the tomato jar. Yeah, dude. The wide mouth receptacle is a great point, because what if you lose control? Like that's what I'm concerned about. Like say that thing gets away from you a little bit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Whoa! It's like,
and back then that's when it would get away from you.
Oh, forget it. I
mean,
dude.
Now it's like, every now you'll still hit a good one that you're proud of, but like now it's like it has a little less velocity to it. But
but if you're throwing ropes. Yeah, if you're throwing legitimate fucking frozen ropes around, like you're gonna need a wide mouth entry. People might really dislike us talking about this, but I don't care. Let's say that thing gets away from you and you end up fucking, just laying it all over some drywall. Like that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, no, it's I remember I had a as I would call it, like a cum dumpster pillow, like a pillow that it wasn't the right softness that I needed to lay on. It was just kind of there.
Yep.
And
an accessory.
The only type of lubricant that I had at the time was the cold, like aloe vera, the green aloe vera gel that you'd put on like a sunburn.
Sure.
And so that just shows you like how hard it was back then, because I was making it through that. Like I was rubbing like legitimately stuff like cooling gel on my shaft and letting it eat. And I remember the pillow.
Now you're talking about some serious energy transfer there.
Yeah, and after a while the pillow had this like green hue to it.
Yeah.
But like it was 50-50 as to whether it would land on the pillow.
Right. God knows where it ended up going. Yeah.
Yeah, across the room. It was
sure. Yeah, behind a light fixture. I know for a fact I ruined a mattress due to some lack of aim. Yeah, literally just whoa, and bang, shit's all over the place. I don't got it, and Yeah, it's just it's the way it goes. Shout out to the mothers out there who are dealing with a boy who's going through that right now. I know, I'm sure, I thought I was being clandestine about it, or not clandestine, covert about it. There's zero chance that I actually was. She probably knew exactly what was going on. And bless her heart, man, she never said a word about it.
Yeah, so, because none of us are doing our own laundry back then.
Fuck no, dude.
Not even a little bit.
No.
And you just,
no.
Like, it had to be every time just like, oh my fucking God.
How much is in it? What is he doing besides this? Yeah.
And, shout out to the moms out there, moms of boys out there. It's going to hit you, but just know it's part of life. Just know that makes them normal.
Yeah, agreed.
And I was a big, I don't know about you back in the day, I was a big, like, quadrant of the boxers where, like, the boxers, they have the seams on the sides, in the middle, and the back. I was a big, because I have a CD that kind of sees to the left.
Okay.
And so even to this day, if you look at some of my cotton boxers on the left quadrant, if you were to put that under a microscope, it's there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, I'm a pretty straight shooter, I think, for the most part. I haven't really noticed any kind of curvature or bending, but you never know. I mean, shit changes. All the time. So we'll see. Maybe I might provide an update down the line.
Yeah, you always kind of think that your curvature is all right, but then you're like, man, this isn't good, that it's not a straight shooter. But then you'll watch. Oof. I remember watching like a porn back in the day and being like, oh, never mind, I'm good, because there's some dudes.
There's some crazy shit out there
that'll have like a legitimate right angle.
And be two-toned too.
Yeah.
Like there'll be a distinct Riviera of fucking color difference between it's there's some weird cocks out there for sure. I'm glad I don't have to see them all that often. I gotta be honest, it's never a pleasant thing to come in contact with or come across. So I really, again, we gave it up to the moms, but on a larger scale, like, shout out to the ladies out there who are dealing with some sort of weird wiener. I imagine that's gotta be tough.
Well, I always imagined, or at least it's something I told myself, like, if there's a curve, then that just means that you gotta know your angles in order to hit the spot. So that's maybe a woman has found, maybe she has
it could be good,
a bad Peyronie's disease going on with her man, but maybe it's hitting the right spot.
No, for sure, it could work that way. It could definitely work that way too. So yeah, it might be for nothing. I guess I was more referring to the ones that just look, clearly deformed, and not trying to talk shit about anybody's piece, but there's some wild looking hogs out there.
Yeah.
So if you're a lady who's with a fella who's just got some sort of crazy fucked up dong, and you just deal with it, and you love him anyway, shout out to you, man.
Yeah, shout out to you. It's we see you. We see you. I don't know how many lady listeners we have. I know we had a few back in the day, but now they're all pregnant and pretending that they never listened.
Damn.
It's the way this new administration's going, nobody wants to be associated with this podcast.
In fairness to them, we did have a layoff, and so they did have to fill their time.
Yeah.
Doing other shit. So that it is kind of on us, and I get that. And we can own that. But yeah, no, we'll get the numbers back up.
Yeah, no, I had a whole list of stuff to talk about, but who knows? We probably got on yerking off at about 10 minutes in, and it's lasted us to 54 minutes.
Yeah, and I could probably do another hour on it too. I think it's just the most straightforward and relatable thing out there, even for ladies too. Like, let's not pretend that they're not taking care of business, but we definitely we let the jerk talk go pretty hard.
Yeah, we didn't even get into the so listeners, you're gonna have to I think this is just something you're gonna have to deal with. We did take the ski trip, however a video podcast didn't happen. I'm sorry. Okay, stuff gets in the way. We're in Vail, we're getting snowed in.
Yep. Buffalo chicken dip.
Buffalo chicken dip was made first day. Shout out to I don't know why I'm saying the Seahawks, but I know it's Philadelphia. Yeah. The Eagles. It was a bird. Yep. I had a bird in there. Shout out to
who gives a fuck at that point, dude? Yeah, who cares? Yeah, it's a fucking bird. I don't even think a Seahawk's a real goddamn bird anyway, So who gives a shit? One of the birds won the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we got out there. It was good. I don't
Yeah.
I figured out after a day it's better to I had to ski backwards the second day.
Right.
It was
my mom called me today and asked about how the trip went and asked me how you did out there, and I said, he did his best. He was getting it done. The mountain whooped him a little bit, but he whooped it right back.
I do have a story. You haven't even heard this, but I went out there skiing, got a call from the father-in-law who's he's a good guy, but he's a salesman for 40 however many fucking years, but he's recently retired, and I think he's dealing with just something that's probably going to hit us. We don't know it yet, but it's he doesn't quite know like what his thing is now that he's retired, but he's skied on and off because that's what salesmen do to.
Right.
Most of the people out there we come across on the slopes are talking work, which I don't
100%.
Like.
Yeah.
I don't want to be
They're actively trying to sell
something.
something.
Work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like.
I mean, that's what those fucking West Coast monkeys do. Is they do like East Coast, they might play golf, they might go out for dinner, whatever. Those fucking West Coast boys get out there and they hit the slopes and they're doing deals on the slopes. It's kind of gross.
Yeah, I was gonna say like. I really took some inventory, and none of it's jealousy that like, oh, I don't have a job that'll pay me to go skiing, but I would not want to be out there trying to sell, whatever kind of rubber to somebody, but it's
some sort of wholesale performance indicator. Yeah.
Is what it is. This is another thing where I forgot the point of what I was saying, but
you were talking about your father-in-law.
Oh yeah, father-in-law.
And he's a skier. Yep.
So my man calls me a couple days after our Vail trip, just kind of pretending to care how it went, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm going out to Utah or whatever in the next couple days," and I'm pretty excited about it. Although my knee's been acting up, and from what I heard, first day injury, man had to be at the lodge the whole day, and he's having a rough time dealing with it's got to be hard. I mean, it hasn't hit us yet, but just like realizing that you're older. Yeah. And I remember kind of telling him like, hey, I mean, I know when to stop. I know when to take a break. I know when things are getting a little too squirrely, so don't be ashamed of that. But this guy,
for sure,
this guy's definitely very subjective to peer pressure, and I'm sure he overdid it. A first day injury. My wife tried to contact it. My wife tried to be like, "Hey, heard everything's not going right, and thinking of you. Can't wait till you come back." And his text back was like, 40 years, never had an injury. this it was just like not even a reply to what she said. It was just
nothing.
Hey,
nothing was
hope you're doing all right.
Yeah.
Heard things didn't go your way. Can't wait till you come. The kids want to see you. 40 years, never had an injury, but
he's been spouting that off to anybody that would listen to him for the last for 48 straight hours.
And honestly, how realistic is that you've gone skiing 40 times, probably more in 40 years, and you've never had like
no fucking chance,
little injury. Yeah. There's no chance.
Yeah, you've never pulled something. You've never a 0.0% chance that that's accurate at all. Yeah, 40 years.
Yeah, 40 years, never had an injury.
Yeah,
not sure what happened this time. It's like, I know what happened. You're older and you're doing something that's kind of insane.
Yeah. It is. No, it's absolutely insane. Let me ask you this too while we're on the subject of it. So you've been in the game now a little while. You've been, you skied a couple times. I would say that you're a skier, right?
Thanks.
When you tell people that you're going skiing, this is what happens to me. When I tell people that I'm going skiing or that I just went skiing, whatever it might be, 99% of the responses is, oh, Somebody I know, I heard somebody just died there.
Yeah.
Or did you see this person up at fucking Dick Fuck Cock Sandwich Mountain just hit a tree and split their fucking brain open and died right there right underneath the lift? That is, I swear to God, 99% of the response. Do you get that too, or is that just me getting that?
It's the haters trying to keep you down. I got that.
I
got that after I came back in good health.
Ugh. You made it, and they're still like, well, you're all right.
Like, I saw that there's a boy missing up there.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. Did you ever see if they found him?
I can tell you this. They didn't, and obviously, it's not funny. It's sad, but, they didn't find him, and they're still doing that, like, missing person thing. Like, they're going to find him in May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that's so sad, man.
That's the worst thing it's the worst possible thing.
Because I mean, it could happen to any one of. I mean, I know where to keep myself. I know where to be out in the open, but it could still happen. Because I mean, you saw me. Yeah. You saw me go wheels to the sky at one point,
and that was on Flapjack.
Yeah, that was on Flapjack, which is a green.
No, I respected the shit out of your caution, because I'm the same way, obviously, to a different extent, but I'm also cautious out there. Nobody drives me fucking crazier than people who have and you can see them too, people who have no business acting like they're fucking Brody Miller, downhill USA Olympic racer, who are so clearly out of control. They have no business going any kind of speed, and you can just tell, like, those people drive me fucking nuts, but those are the guys who die.
Yeah. And my thing, the thing that pisses me off is, like, bro, get off the green slopes. If you
go do something.
If you're getting that good, go somewhere else. I'm on this green slope to learn.
Yeah, it's really, there's no sense in you doing 90 miles an hour past people who are fucking learning how to do this on the green slope. Like, why are you here?
Yeah, I do. Just as a caution to any of our listeners, I'm sure nobody's going to Vail anytime soon, but I hope so. But if you are a strict green slope guy, get to the top of Flapjack. They call it a green. I don't know who gave it that rating, but
I think it's a West Coast green,
and you're like, bro, I can see the bottom, and it is 2 miles away, all downhill. They don't
fuck around. Hey, get on to Get Along Road.
Yeah, Get Along Road is where it's at.
You'll be safe. You'll be happy there. It's nice. It's relaxing. That's where you can spend your time. Over on Get Along Road. Shout out Get Along Bob too. Backwards Bobby too.
Yeah,
but
shout out Get Along.
Also, we should probably say this: like, we wouldn't have been able to go if it weren't for this pod. So we should say thank you to the listeners for for what they contributed to that trip.
Yeah, I just wanted on record that it was a business trip.
I know, so that's right.
I'm going to mark this point just in case the IRS calls next year, but it was a business trip because business was had.
Oh, it was handled. Yeah, on and off the slopes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for a full body workout, Get Along Road to fucking, what was that one that I wound up on where you called and you were like, hey, where you at? Like, you should have been here before me. And I was like, I'm on fucking.
Oh.
It was like something.
You were on,
it was something where the name was basically like, this is uphill.
Slow walk. Brisk walk. You were on brisk walk.
Yeah, just know if you get on brisk walk, you're going to be using some.
You might have to take the skis off. Yeah, you might be walking for a bit. Yeah, that actually really fucking blows when you get into a situation like that.
Yeah, but you will.
It's almost like let me just fall down the slope. Like, don't make me go uphill.
If that is your level of expertise, you will find a couple of bros on brisk walk. They'll be doing the same thing as you. Like, hey, this is a lot of work, but at least I'm not going downhill.
Right. It's kind of like back in the day, like the Oregon Trail. Like, you come across fellow travelers, and you know that you can kind of tell based on the amount of fun they're not having, like what kind of tribulations they've already been through. Like, one of their stupid fucking friends probably told them to go down a black diamond or something like that, and they called it. They called it for the day, and they're just trying to get back to safety, and get along Bob cruises by him, says, hey, what's up? And they're just borderline in tears. Like, you can find those type out there. You got it done, though. I've never seen anybody do what you did, where you just fucking went down the length of the mountain in reverse intentionally. I've never seen some shit like that in my life.
Yeah, I had no choice, and that's something to think about for our listeners. Is if the first day, if you wear out all of your muscles that propel you going forward, and the next day you find that this is impossible. Once you try doing a 180.
Not a conventionally effective strategy to go down a mountain backwards, but my God, I mean, the proof was right there, dude. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I still can't believe it. Maybe we'll throw something up with some footage to show exactly what you were doing out there. But yeah, to the listeners, listen to my man here, because
you know what, we
got it done.
We will put some footage up there, and this is a good time to plug. So we are going to regularly upload these to YouTube as well. Although a video podcast isn't happening, we do have a slideshow
for now
of very entertaining AI images that'll be shown throughout the YouTube video. So yeah, just think about it, but you can listen however you want. It'd be nice if you subscribed, is all I'm saying.
Get on the YouTube. Yeah. Get on the YouTube.
It'd be nice to have a little bit of monetization, but
right. Yeah.
Is what it is. I had a whole list of stuff of experiences to talk about, but once we got on jerking off, it was
bro.
So hey, we got a nice backlog for when we're not cooking.
We'll put it on the next one. Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. It's good, man.